Hey, what's up and how's it going, everyone? Well, I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I am your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson, and last night was WWE Monday Night Raw. It was actually not a bad show. And what I really liked is this story with Daniel Bryan versus the corporation week after week. Ever since this started, it's only going to get better here on out. And what I've realized is that the more Daniel Bryan gets crushed, the bigger the payoff is going to be for Daniel Bryan. And for a very good reason of what transpired last night on Monday Night Raw. And the show kicked off when Triple H presented a gift to the WWE Champion Randy Orton. It was a new Cadillac Escalade, and I already see this coming. It's cliched as hell, but you know what? The way it was done was absolutely brilliant. I could see this car getting smashed or get graffiti on it or whatever. Something happens to this car because, when, the car came out and then Daniel Bryan came out, you see Daniel Bryan looking over at the vehicle, foreshadowing, okay, what's going to happen here with this vehicle? So, with all that said, the way they're building up this rivalry with Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, along with Triple H, as well as the Shield, when they were guarding the ring, and it feels like they've been there for a week because, they practically started there last week. And with all that being said, this is something I'm really looking forward to next week, the following week after, the week after that, Night of Champions. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Randy Orton should lose the champion after 1 month because not only, they should keep him as champion for as long as possible, is for Daniel Bryan to have that sympathetic character, the ultimate underdog character, long as possible when he does get that huge payoff. And what I like is that when the on top of the screen, when we saw Randy Orton and the Triple H in the ring, well, actually no, it was just Randy Orton. It was Randy Orton after his match with Christian. And what I really like is that, okay, we see this match so many times, but the thing is, they actually mixed that match up. It was a nice, very well done match, and it didn't feel the same match that Christian and Randy Orton had months ago. It just felt completely different, and I like it because, it adds a variety to the wrestling. And after Randy Orton bet Christian, we see Daniel Bryan up on the screen and see that he put graffiti all over that Cadillac Escalade, and Michael Cole called it a Cadillac Escalade. I thought that touch there was absolutely genius and humorous on the part of Michael Cole. I really liked that from Michael Cole. The little things that he said, were actually pretty good. And with that said, shortly after, Daniel Bryan again stole the show that was on a third time on Raw. His match with Seth Rollins was absolutely incredible. And here's the interesting thing about that. We see the Shield, in these situations where it's 2-on-3, 1-on-3, 3-on-3, and we don't see their full potential. So I like that, they mix it up and have Seth Rollins go 1-on-1 with Daniel Bryan. Even though it was presented as a gauntlet match, I like that, it was a full-fledged 1-on-1 match with Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan. And we already knew that Daniel Bryan was just going to deliver in that match. And with the whole thing about the Shield competitors being in singles competition, Seth Rollins was absolutely at his A game on Raw last night. And with that being said, that German suplex off the top rope, that was a holy you-know-what moment. And all in all, this whole build-up was absolutely amazing. all in all, another great ending to Raw as well. And not only that, after we've seen that Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan exchange, we see Dean Ambrose come in, but only to have Daniel Bryan use the yes lock applied on Dean Ambrose, and then Roman Reigns comes in and attacks Daniel Bryan. And what I really like is that they're actually not only playing this rivalry with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton that's well made, the Shield as well. I like that, that they teased this coming match, and I hope it happens like next week. Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. I like that they had that teaser between Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose, because next week they can just go one-on-one and bring the house down once again, when Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins did last night. And I hope they do that next week, and I hope that match happens, so that Daniel Bryan eventually will probably face Roman Reigns, and there's that bigger guy as well. And I like that, you got the high flyer, you got the weirdness and uniqueness of Dean Ambrose, and then you got the powerhouse of Roman Reigns. So I like how Daniel Bryan gained that victory over Seth Rollins. Now he's going to face, the weird grappling kind of superstar, and when he pulls the win over that, he'll face the big powerhouse, and I like how that's set up. It's like a huge mountain to climb, and then you got the champ up on top, Randy Orton, and even higher up, Triple H. So, like I said, words can't express how great already this build-up is, and I hope it don't flop. For the love of God, this is the one thing I really don't like to see. The story just drops completely. That would suck. And I think that if that happens, I don't know what I'd do. So with that being said, what the WWE is doing right now with not only Daniel Bryan, but with CM Punk as well, are incredible to say the least. And speaking of CM Punk, what happened on Raw between him and Paul Heyman was that those two know how to sell emotions. Holy crap. I mean, you have CM Punk defeat Curtis Axel. And, Brad Maddox, makes a match shortly after for Night of Champions, where CM Punk is in a situation to face Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel 2-on-1 with no title on the line. I think that's a little better than having the title on the line, because CM Punk really don't need to have a championship match anything below the WWE Championship. So with that being said, I like how they, booked this rivalry going into Night of Champions. And on Raw last night, man, the emotion from Paul Heyman when he was whipping the Singapore King on CM Punk. I fathered you. Whack. I loved you. Whack. The emotion was, just incredibly, just believable is an understatement, to say the least. And I actually got, caught up in Paul Heyman's emotions. And when you get caught up in someone's emotions when they're selling it on TV, they're doing their job. And they're doing their job very well. And that's what Paul Heyman did. Paul Heyman delivered on Monday Night Raw. I think out of those three, CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Curtis Axel, Paul Heyman was the guy that really sold that match and that segment. And it was just unbelievable. And the emotion from CM Punk after, he took that beating from Paul Heyman was just absolutely incredible. The way they panned the camera on Paul Heyman's, not on Paul Heyman's, but on CM Punk's back, it really showed the scars. The only thing I kind of nitpicking is I would like to see, the camera on CM Punk's face after they showed his back, just to see his facial expression, his emotion after the beating. That's the only thing I kind of, nitpicking at, but overall, that was absolutely amazing. And when Renee Young came up to Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel afterwards, and everything about Paul Heyman is incredible. His body language, the way his face was, looked like he had pink eye. He was boiled red. And it was just absolutely amazing what Paul Heyman was doing on Raw. Absolutely incredible, to say the least. Also on Monday Night Raw, we saw Cody Rhodes defeating Fandango, and then Max comes out, makes a tag team match. He's falling under the Teddy Long category already. And with that being said, he made a tag team match because The Miz and Fandango came out and caused a disturbance and made the tag team match. Cody Rhodes and The Miz, in the end, defeated Damien Sandow and Fandango. I don't mind this whole thing with The Miz and Fandango. I like it better than the Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow because this rivalry is already done. It's already finished, and I don't know why we're seeing it again. I thought it would end at SummerSlam, but no. They just had to continue it again. I think that they should just split these guys up and put Cody Rhodes in the world title picture eventually, and you got Damien Sandow who could cash in at any time, so I see no reason why they should continue this, because Damien Sandow has that briefcase, and Cody Rhodes, after that win over Damien Sandow at SummerSlam, is going to elevate him, and putting Cody Rhodes in that tag team match situation kind of didn't help him at all. It just felt like he was another mid-carder along with Sandow, The Miz, and Fandango. And with that being said, he should be slowly going up to competing for the world title. Also last night, Brie Bella defeated Natalya. And then shortly after, we see AJ Lee come out and make a pipe bomb. She mentioned that, that she didn't get here because I was cute or because I came from a famous wrestling family or because I sucked up to the right people. And she also mentioned that no matter how many red carpets that the divas walk on with your $4,000 ridiculous heels, you will never be able to lace up my Chuck Taylors. And that's basically kind of what she said on Raw. And the only thing I don't like is that some people are comparing it to the CM Punk infamous pipe bomb, because when CM Punk nailed down the pipe bomb, he didn't just peek down the fourth wall. He tore down the fourth wall. And with AJ Lee, it was more of a peak of the fourth wall. So I don't know why they're comparing this to CM Punk's pipe bomb, because it's not as impactful as CM Punk's pipe bomb. It was great nonetheless. I thought AJ Lee coming out, delivering that promo, was actually pretty good. And it kind of hit the nail on the head with, what most people were probably thinking about, and kind of spoke the truth in a sense. And the funny thing is, we see Natalya in the ring, and she is someone who should be used as a wrestler and not someone who's in a reality show called Total Divas. And with that being said, I think really, all in all, it's not that AJ Lee buried Natalya in that segment. The WWE already buried Natalya in the first place. So with that being said, AJ Lee coming out doing her pipe bomb was pretty much the only good thing that happened during that Divas segment. And with that being said, wow, the sky's the limit for AJ Lee. Also last night, we see Rob Van Dam defeat the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio for the 400 and something time. I don't know. But we see Rob Van Dam defeat the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio in a non-title match again. And alright, here's the thing about this. We already see Rob Van Dam defeat Alberto Del Rio before in non-title matches, and for him to defeat Alberto Del Rio in a non-title match again, he has to defeat him again to get a title shot. I think that's just really bizarre and really ridiculous, because that should have been a World Heavyweight Championship match. The only thing I kind of liked about it is that, he didn't use a finisher to defeat Del Rio. I like that he did defeat Del Rio because, it's going to put him in there for a world title picture. It's just the way that the WWE has done this whole thing with RVD and Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez as the new manager for Rob Van Dam playing mind games on Alberto Del Rio. I think it's ridiculous that someone has to defeat a champion more than once to get a world championship shot. That's ridiculous. And I think that Rob Van Dam, and I think that not only Rob Van Dam deserves a world title shot, that should have been a world title shot in the first place. And with that being said, this pairing with Rob Van Dam and Ricardo Rodriguez is pretty good, and I would like to see more, the things happening with these two guys to build up to this championship match with Alberto Del Rio. But I have a sneaking suspicion that, I don't know, it's just like maybe Ricardo Rodriguez is going to cost Rob Van Dam in the end. Who knows? I mean, the WWE does things that are like, don't make sense. They're very predictable, and sometimes they're not, and you just never know with the WWE. I'll just put it that way. Also last night, Titus O'Neil defeated Jack Swagger, and before that match, we see Zeb Coulter come out and deliver that promo, and when he mentioned about if you don't feed them, don't breed them, I was like, oh, right? And oh man, he knows how to push the buttons and cross the line when it comes to these promos. Oh, he just took it way too far on Monday Night Raw, and oh man. And I have nothing more to say about that. All in all, Raw last night was actually a not half bad show. It was pretty good. You had the AJ Lee promo, you got the CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Curtis Axel story, which, by the way, Curtis Axel still trying hard to be a villain. I think the way he pronounces his words is a little off, and I think that he should be a villain, and him being a villain should come naturally. Same thing with The Miz. I think that the old Miz should come back as well. And the whole thing with Daniel Bryan, Triple H, Randy Orton, and The Shield, these segments on Raw between the segments on Raw with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, two wrestlers that are great on the mic and great in the ring, really delivered. And I think that these two guys, may foreshadow a main event match at WrestleMania. When it comes to the last match, who knows yet? Who knows what to expect on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, the next pay-per-view event, Night of Champions, the pay-per-view after that, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, the list goes on and on. I just hope that these stories deliver the right way and the proper way, and not too fast and too soon. The way it's going now, it's great. Keep it going, WWE. And I think you will get a good payoff for Daniel Bryan, as well as CM Punk. And that was my review of Monday Night Raw. For the MRB Wrestling Review Show, I'm your co-host, Mike Big Rock Wilson. And to all your viewers watching, get plenty of rest, and always do your best.